It's more just it feels happy to be around him. I haven't seen him in over a decade, so it's good to see him that's like not on a screen. I'm not a fan of talking on Skype or through phones, so these personal interactions, they're something that I much prefer, and it's just again good to see him. Really.
Do you think, are you confident he will be able to keep a lid on his emotions? He says he's going to try. But what happens if something goes down? Will someone need to hold him back?
Who's going to hold him back?
I don't know.
It's not me. I got an injured hand. I'm not touching him.
What's your read on this fight, Tszyu, Bakhram?
I think Bakram, he's got a style that's pretty easy to hit. He comes forward a lot. I think Tim will kind of just break him down throughout the rounds, and I see just see him breaking him down over the end throughout the course of the fight, and possibly stopping him by the end.
What improvements have you seen in Tim in this camp? Compared to the last couple of years.
Well, I haven't been here for most of the camp. I've been back in Sydney, so I couldn't say that. But I've heard stories about his improvements in the UFC Institute. Even just the way his body looks at the moment, he's definitely improved. He's mentally, I think that's what you can call a loss, but that fight with Fondora, I think it did something better for Tim. Like, it made him even mentally stronger. It kind of reinforced this strength inside of him and this warrior spirit. So, like, I see Tim's spirit unbreakable at the moment, and I just see him walking through Bakhram.
What were the emotions like in the months after that Fondora fight? Was it how was Tim mentally throughout that period?
Well, he went on a holiday. I forgot where. I think it was Hawaii, I forgot where he went. And I was preparing for a fight, so I wasn't really communicating with him all the time. But came back a week before my fight, and he reset. Yeah.
He seems fairly, resilient and, can overcome sort of these obstacles. Is that something that comes naturally to him, or does he need sort of, some support from you or your dad? Or
I don't think any of us really need support. Tim, especially Tim, we're quite self-reliant, and we don't really need to be told to train. He definitely doesn't need to be told to train. If anything, he needs to be told not to train sometimes. He can kind of overdo it maybe. So he's mentally there.
What impact do you think your dad being here will have on him over the next 48 hours and on fight night? Like, it will have some impact. What do you think it's going to do for Tim?
So I see this kind of reunion of our family coming back together as Tim, understanding, or I don't know if he'll directly understand it, but it's kind of like the origin story of how we all came into this sport. Like, the reason why we came into the sport is because of our dads, the path that he laid out for us in Australia, and it's just him. I think there'll be an understanding of it, and that's going to bring that much more energy and more energy to his spirit. Yeah.
What was it like for you? Because you obviously hadn't seen him in the flesh for 11 years. When he first walked through those doors, did you know he was coming? And what was that first moment like for you when you're not seeing the old boy on a screen, but up close?
We just hugged it out for a bit. Said a few little words. I was happy to see you finally. Yeah.
You surprised it was only 2 years since?
No, we don't really need that. We don't need to say much. We're not very talkative people. But all we need is a hug and that little moment of silence, and everything was communicated through that.
Do you think Tim will get some, I guess, motivation? Is he inspired by Kostya's career, and do you think that could be, a factor this weekend?
Well, I can't speak for Tim, but I assume so. Yeah.
What about yourself?
About myself, yeah, I'm definitely inspired by my dad. I definitely recognise that all the opportunities I've ever had comes directly from him and the work that he's done, and there is nothing but appreciation for the doors that he's opened for us. And yeah, he's one of my biggest role models. He's just a stone cold stone.
The prospect of becoming a two-time world champion for Tim this week, what does that do for him and his career moving forward?
It puts him kind of back onto the top of the division. Not that I ever thought they actually ever left, but that was just a bit of a hiccup in the road. It puts the rest of the division back on notice that the king is back.
Changes to the corner this week. Mark Gambon's out with appendicitis. Will that have an impact? Who's coming in to replace him?
I think, look, we've had Mark there for every one of our fights, but we got a trusted member, Eric, who's our kind of connection in America. He's the coach that leads the gym for us. He found one of his trusted guys, and yeah, our family branches out. I'll be on the bucket duty, so.
Will Dad be backstage? I've got a feeling like you'll all walk out together, right?
I have no idea. No one tells me anything. I'm just here for the ride.
You are in the corner. What's your role going to be?
Literally bucket boy. I carry the bucket. I don't know.
Have you done that before?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been in the corner. So this might be my first one. Yeah.
How is the hand at surgery last week?
Yeah, it's recovering. It's still quite stiff. The wrist one's very stiff. They took a bit of bone out of my wrist and put it into my knuckle. So that hurt. Still quite sore. My dad went and just grabbed it. And I'm like, it's sore. It's like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not. It hurts.
You weren't supposed to fly.
No, I was good to fly.
Oh, you were good to fly?
Yeah. I got stitches out 2 days ago, and yeah, it looks like it's healing.
Yeah.
Not infected. Okay, I'll go.
All right, mate. Thanks so much.